and welcome to the African Utility Week studio. I'm Ashley Turan, content editor of ESI Africa, and with me today we have Marius Hugo, managing director of Mean Sea Level. Welcome, Marius.
Thanks very much, Ashley. Hi.
How have you found the event so far?
Very good. I just arrived today, and I'm impressed. Every year it gets better and better. So look forward to spending some more time on the floor.
So I'd just like to look at wave energy with you, and when I think of wave energy, I think of the moon and the tide and this whole romantic notion around it, but how exactly does it fit into the electrical sphere?
Look, firstly, it's about as romantic as it gets for an engineer, and secondly, my wife would agree with you, so But the moon actually does influence the ocean, and especially tides. So from an electrical perspective, tidal energy is really as close as it gets to the moon. Tidal energy has actually been very successful, but one needs a very high tidal variance to make it work. And places like the UK and Canada has that, but South Africa unfortunately not. So our technology depends entirely on the motions of the waves, not the tides. So essentially, if I can just describe it quickly, we build a dam next to the ocean onshore, and then the dam wall facing the oncoming waves has a slope to it. The waves run up the slope into the dam, which is then higher than mean sea level, and then the water runs gravity-fed back to the sea through a hydroelectric turbine to generate power. So that's the technology, and we've optimized it and patented it, and we're currently building our first 1 megawatt pilot project in Hermanus, which is just down the coast here from Cape Town.
And why specifically Hermanus?
Hermanus has got a fantastic wave energy resource, specifically really the southern coast of South Africa. Then secondly, our industrial partner Abergold, which is a world-class aquaculture facility, is located there. And our first pilot project will be producing electricity directly to them. So it's really wave energy resource as well as the location of our industrial partner that's led us to be there.
Okay. I mean, with any new technologies, it's very difficult to get investor buy-in, especially if you have certain perceptions around a particular product or technology. What have been some of your challenges around punting wave energy?
Look, your funding was hard to get for unproven technology in South Africa. So in the end, we went with angel investors and some grant funding, but the risk-reward category that wave energy in currently is a high risk, high reward. So for instance, there's currently not a single operating or commercially operating wave energy plant in the world, to my knowledge. So it still is a little bit out there. If you compare ourselves to the wind and solar guys, we may be 20 years behind. Hopefully we'll get up that curve much quicker, and that's our goal. But for now we're still pretty much in that category. The biggest advantage, and the reason people are looking at wave, or investors are looking at wave, is the fact that our resource availability is so high. The waves just keep on coming, where maybe the sun at night obviously doesn't shine, and the wind, you've got still days, but waves keep pounding the coast 24/7. And from an energy generation perspective, that's very useful.
And when looking at local content, and this may be a little too far down the line, and manufacturing of certain components of that technology, is there industry that is there to support this type of technology?
Look, your most general industry, like our industrial partner Abergold, is looking for cost-effective, available, off-the-grid solutions. So industry is quite easy, you know exactly what they want, and they're supportive to us because of that. From a government perspective, it's slightly harder. They've got to create cost-effective or cost-efficient electricity for the whole economic development of the country. So to balance that on the one end with unproven or supporting unproven technologies up the technology curve, I think they've got to find a balance to play.
And what are going to be some of your key messages that you would like to deliver to the African Utility Week audience?
I'd say, and you mentioned it earlier from a local content perspective, I'm from the town that we're developing this wave energy project in Hermanus, and my biggest piece of advice is go with the community. We spent years promoting the project and committing to the local community that we wouldn't move a muscle without their support. And in the end, the support we've received from the community has been fantastic. I always laugh because my father, and one of the visionaries of this project, always says, everyone's looking for easy solutions. But to do something worthy, choose something difficult and then just never give up. So that's a lovely piece of advice. From an innovation perspective, we've had to really leverage solutions from other industries. Because the wave energy industry is still in its infancy, we're using ideas from the mining guys, from the solar guys, from the wind guys, and applying it to the wave energy technology. So that's a very fruitful way of innovation. And then lastly, if you're not having fun, you're kind of in the wrong game, because it hasn't been easy. So you really have to enjoy what you're doing.
It's definitely an area to watch.
Yeah, I'm very excited, and days like these at conferences, I think I'm with the right people and to enjoy it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Marius.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for tuning in.